It is Monday, March the 14th, and you're tuned in to the TNIAB Podcast, the geek, chic, culture show. We're talking about all the cool things in the world. I'm Vince.
I'm Anthony.
And I just realized I said that backwards. Usually we say our names, then I put the headline or the tagline. But, oh well.
Oh man, I was reading this sick Rocket League story.
Oh, I guess you're too distracted to catch it.
I didn't even catch it.
That's okay, because this week we're going to kick things off with a quick cycling story.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
A couple weeks ago, I told you that girl caught up with me, and she told me she's part of a cycling club.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I guess that's what you call them.
Did your anime dreams come true? Did you join the cycling club?
Well, so, she messaged me, and I went out with her, and we went to go cycling, like, with her cycling club.
Okay.
That's never happening again.
Why? Are they slow?
They are, like, super casual. Okay, so they're clearly the rich community who just all recently got into cycling.
I was just like, look at all these bikes.
Yeah, that's what it is. So they're just like, they're not too sure if they're into it, but they have the money to throw at expensive stuff.
What an elitist.
So, and they were going so slow. And they only wanted to be out for like 20 minutes.
That's not a bike ride.
I know, so I was like, yeah, that was fun, but I'm gonna hitch it to town now. See ya.
Bye.
Like, we went around, not too far, so that kind of disappointed me, so I'm still on the hunt for a real club.
I wish there was like an outdoor track, like a bike track, like the one we saw in Kyoto.
Oh yeah, why?
Because I don't know, I'm always afraid of riding my bike on the road.
But a track's so boring.
But I can go fast and not get hit by a car.
Yeah, but you don't get the experience of almost getting hit by a car.
Yeah, no, but I've been hit by a car before.
Okay, when I get my X bike, you can use my other bike. I'll take you around the city, and then we'll see if we can change your mind.
I went for a bike ride in high school, and then a dude hit me with his car.
Can I ask if you were riding against or with traffic?
I was riding on the sidewalk.
Okay.
And then he hit me coming out of
Oh, that's different.
thing.
That's different. Okay.
And then the other one was in Japan. I almost got hit by a car because when I rode your sister's bike to the arcade and it was raining, I just booked it back, and then this guy came out of a blind corner, and I had to do anime skid onto the road.
To be fair, that was a thunderstorm.
True.
And in Japan, the cars will come right up to you before stopping.
Will they actually?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Don't you remember? Like, even when you're...
No, but this one, it was because there was a building in front, he didn't see me.
Okay.
So, if I did not do the anime skid, I would have just right into his front wheels.
Okay. Again, it was a thunderstorm, and I know there was poor visibility that day. And that was nearing, sunset time.
It was nighttime. It was pitch black.
Okay. Okay, I knew you went out at night that day. Anyways, we'll try and change your mind.
Okay.
We'll try and change your mind. We'll get TJ, we'll get everybody else in, we'll get a TNIB cycle cast going on.
Okay. Live stream with the GoPros.
We will record one of our podcasts this year will be on our bikes.
Oh man. I have to buy a portable recorder?
No. One of us is gonna hold the MacBook, the other one's gonna hold the mic.
I've always wanted a portable recorder though.
Yeah, that's nice, but think about how cool we'll look going
with
down.
With a MacBook? Fine, then you hold the MacBook.
No,
that means you can go the slowest.
My job.
You can go the slowest.
That's my job. Yes, so that cycling thing was a dud, but whatever.
Oh well.
I did go to a new cycling store in nearby. Best cycling store I've ever been to so far.
Is it good enough to name drop, or are you just gonna leave it?
I won't name drop it yet because they have one bike there on discount.
Oh, okay.
That I'm gonna buy. So I don't want to call them out just yet.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. It's just I had to check out prices somewhere else first.
Oh, okay.
But the reason I bring it up is because when I was leaving, my car got blocked in by a fire truck.
Okay.
And I couldn't get out. And I was like, well, what the fuck's going on? And I turned the corner, and it was like a strip mall. Okay. One of the stores at the very end, their sign caught fire.
Cool!
Because lightning hit it. Oh,
awesome!
I should say it was also raining that day.
Even better.
Lightning hit it, and it just caught into a blaze.
That's sick!
And it was on the main road. It was on Plains Road, that IKEA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was just standing there, and the bike shop owner came out, and he's like, "Oh, hey, you're still here." I'm like, "Yeah, look, the guy's sign caught fire." I was like, "Oh, that's a shame." And we just stood there and talked as we were watching this guy's sign burn down. It was pretty fun.
Man, that's Got hit by lightning? That's so cool.
Yeah. They had to, there's tons of traffic, and then I had to stay at the cycling shop for like an extra hour because I couldn't get out.
Did you do the thing where like a kid in Toys R Us wants to ride a bike and you just ride around the store? Did you do that in the cycling store?
No, because I did all my test riding first when I got there. Okay. And they stopped letting you do test rides once it starts to rain.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's damage to the thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, that sucked. But yeah, that was a little bit of story fun time. Let's get into the meat of the show.
Do it.
Picks of the week. You have a couple things you want to bring up.
I do have a couple things. So, the first one, I'll start with the small one, is that Rocket League, the Rocket League developers, have hinted at pretty much Rocket League basketball mode.
That sounds tough.
Yeah.
Like, really tough.
Really hard. So, Psylocke tweeted their teaser image last night hinting that a, quote, Rocket League Hoops, unquote, model was in the works just in time for the NCAA basketball college tournament.
March Madness.
This is according to Polygon. There's a tweet. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. They show a giant net with a ramp on it. So it's not like... So here's the picture. Let me pull up the picture and show you. I don't want to pull up the tweet. Technology, people. Technology.
Anthony, get up on that technology.
So, yeah. So, like, there's a giant hoop on the floor.
Yeah.
And there's a big...
Oh, I see.
It's a big ring on the floor.
Okay.
And at the hoop, there's, like, a ramp up. So I'm waiting for, like, alley-oop situations where it's like, yo, toss it up.
Cool.
And that... It looks pretty cool.
Okay, it doesn't look as hard as I imagined.
Yeah, no, the hoop's not way in the air.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I'm like, how are you gonna win?
But that looks super dope. And I kind of want to play Rocket League.
Yeah, okay. That sounds cool.
Oh, hello, producer.
Hello, fourth chair. Welcome. Yes. You guys recording?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
No, don't worry. It's fine.
All right. Well, how about...
Okay, bye, producer. See you next week.
Have a fun drive.
Yeah. Live radio.
Yeah, we were talking about cars.
Yeah, we're talking about cars.
And, yeah.
All right, so the next one, or do you want to switch off? Do you want to keep going? Or do you only have one?
I only have one.
Oh, okay. I'll go through mine then. So, Calico, the Calico Chameleon, the thing I talked about yesterday, the kind of business clusterfuck, has... the company, the Calico company... has now severed ties with the, quote, duct tape, end quote, console manufacturer. Ooh. So the Calico Chameleon is dead.
Oh.
The Retro VGS website is down. You can't find, like, their pictures on Facebook anymore. Calico has pulled their brand. And it turns out, those independent engineers found that...
That shit was fake.
That shit was fake, homie. If you want like a really in-depth look at this story, check out, or you can either listen to the previous episode where I kind of give like a brief rundown of what's been going on over the past weeks.
Yeah. But
the Giant Beastcast does a really good job on their podcast at breaking down what the heck is going on with this story.
Okay.
And they've been covering it like as the news came out. Mm-hmm. So they did a really good job of doing that. But yeah, like this whole thing is bonkers. It kind of doesn't have the crazy weird ending like the Gizmondo did.
No, they got shut down early.
Yeah, they got shut down early before someone could buy into Ferrari Enzo. Yeah. But it was it's a weird story. It's weird to think like I'm getting this old man vibe. It's like, man, it's 2016. Like, come on. Yeah. You really gonna try this? Like, yeah. The internet's such a monster right now that they'll just weed out any of the people who are trying to fake people out.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's it. If you can find a Calico Chameleon, like, hold on to that, because it's probably a collector's item now.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't exist, but, like, they made fake prototypes, like, with stickers and on the Atari Jaguar case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then my last pick, I don't know, it seems pretty cool to me, is Xbox. Or should I say Microsoft, makers of the Xbox.
Microsoft!
They are trying to change the Xbone into something more like a PC. And they're trying to unify their PC and console platforms.
Okay.
So what this means is They are trying to make a Xbox One pretty much with upgradable hardware.
Okay.
What's his face? Phil Spencer.
That's the one.
That's the one. He came out in a press release and he said,
what did he say?
That they are trying to unify all the platforms into pretty much one. So they're trying to make Windows 10 and the Xbox One platform work together so that it'll be easier for developers to create games on both platforms.
Okay.
So they'll have less of a time porting it from A to B or B to A. The thing is, though, is that they want to use their Windows 10, like it's like the app platform, pretty much, the Microsoft Store. And in terms of big, like that, it works for like apps on a mobile size. But for bigger games, it's had a bunch of problems. So the new Gears of War, there was like an Up-Res one, remastered.
The Ultimate Edition.
The Ultimate Edition. So apparently that had a lot of problems with VSync and stuff like that. Certain qualities and features that you kind of expect in a PC game, like stuff to modify.
Weren't available?
Weren't available, or they just forced certain things on.
Okay.
And then it's like, my PC can't run this on the Microsoft Store version, but on this Steam version, it's fine. Because I can turn certain settings off.
Okay.
For Lara Croft, Rise of the Tomb Raider, the big problem was running in the Windows 10 Store that the game could only be played in full screen windowed mode, which means that the area in which the game is being played takes up the whole screen, but it's not a true full screen experience. It's still like just an oversized window.
You have the menu bars up and
so you could easily Alt Tab. It doesn't have to minimize the whole program for you to do it. Like it's kind of just running as a window. And people want that option of having either a full screen or an actual windowed window and stuff like that. So they've been having a kind of a weird problem with that stuff. But their plans seem very interesting. What they talk about is they haven't released any specifics, but it seems a lot like an iPhone.
Okay.
Where planned obsolescence is totally a thing. And every couple years you will either buy a new Xbox or you will buy an upgrade to your current Xbox.
Okay.
Hardware wise.
Okay.
And this is because they want to they feel that the console model is too stagnant because it's like, man, here's this machine that's built with some pretty good stuff of the time, not the best because you can't make money off of something that's super high end.
Yeah.
And also that technology determines the platform for like the next 7 years.
Yeah.
And they think that doesn't really hold up in an age where PC gaming is getting bigger.
Yes.
It's just an interesting thought because it brought up a lot of discussions about consoles in general and whether they're viable or not. And a lot of people are like, this might be like the last year of consoles, like the last generation of consoles as we know them.
Okay.
And stuff like that. But do you have any thoughts on this at all?
Yeah, I can see that as a viable future. I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened already.
Okay.
Just because that when you mention like the iPhone or the iPad or even the Samsung, like there's a new Samsung. Actually, is there like a new Samsung every 6 months?
Probably the S7 just is coming out soon.
I feel like there's one like all the time. Anyway, I feel like that model is the norm with every other piece of technology. And so for consoles to be on this like really strict once every half decade plan, that does feel a bit dated. And yeah, I think I would be up for it. Like I wouldn't mind if next year there's, I'm gonna buy the Xbox 1.2, 1.3, 1.7.
Okay.
Till eventually I get the Xbox 2. I can't wait to get the Xbox 10. Then I get the Xbox X.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, but no. I think it seems like the natural step. At the moment, it seems like they're trying to build out this foundation, so everything does seem a bit scary and a bit out there.
Yeah.
But I think in a couple of years' time, if they do stick with it, it'll become the norm. The only stipulation I would like, just as a consumer, is that any developer who takes advantage of the newer systems is mandatory for them to make sure it's backwards compatible for a certain window of time that is probably more relative to a regular console life. So, like, say consoles go on for 5 years.
Yeah.
I would hope that they make anything for the current platform backwards compatible, or not backwards compatible, at least viable on platforms that were released 4 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the only thing I hope.
So, like, if you play, like, Gears of War 7 on the newest Xbox,
yes,
but you play it on maybe, like, the 4-year-old model,
yeah,
you're not getting it at 60 frames, you're getting it at 30 frames.
Right, but I hope I could still play it.
Yeah, you can still play it in general.
Yeah, I completely understand if, like, say we're on Xbox 9 and, like, we're dropping support for Xbox 3 and below. That's makes sense to me, because that's a console generation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it this way just because at least you can get those who have money, or those who are rich, whatever. They can or those who love the bleeding edge.
Yeah.
They can always be at the top of the game.
And it shows that there's those people in the phone game.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect, right? Like, there's always someone who's just like, oh, the new iPhone came out today.
Yeah.
I need it yesterday.
Yeah. I know, like, my mom, for example, she doesn't ever need the new one. She always waits for the new one to come out so she could buy the old one.
Okay.
You know, and I can see that model working for consumers as well. A lot of kids can't afford the newest thing. But hey, if they can get maybe the model that's a year or two older and they still have access to the newest games, maybe they're not the hottest, latest shit, but then that's the same as today with consoles versus PCs, right? All the all the people who are super into games play on PCs, and the rest of us play on consoles. So
I don't have a PC because I don't have $2,000 to drop on a gaming PC.
Right. And I don't, so that in this sense, like, if they move forward with this model, I don't expect either of us to be always updating yearly, but we'll have something there until we feel like it's necessary to move on, until we get out of their window.
Exactly.
And then we have to move on. Like, lately, that's how I've been treating a lot of my Apple products. I used to be buying the new things all the time, but now I just wait till they're outdated, until Apple officially drops support.
And it's because they still do support it, right?
Yeah.
They tell developers, like, hey, other people still have, like, 2 generations old phones.
Yeah, so you kind of need to.
It, like, you have to make it at least work. Like, it won't work the best on those phones, but
no,
it has to be usable.
Yeah.
Right? And so,
yeah,
it's a really interesting model. Again, like, I'm also surprised it hasn't come to this sooner. It took Xbox kind of, or Microsoft at least, kind of being out of the console game right now. Like, PlayStation's kind of taken over that spot, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, everyone I talk to, who used to have an Xbox before and just swore by Xbox, like in the 360 era, they all have a PS4.
Yeah, same.
And they just like PS4 everything. And it kind of goes to show who's like, I don't want to say winning like a console war anymore, because we're not in the 90s. But like, Call of Duty exclusives are on PlayStation. And it's kind of telling like who's in the lead, or who's doing very well, at least. It's Call of Duty in video games is kind of like the porn industry with physical media. Like, whatever the porn industry takes on, it's like, okay, porn took on Blu-rays, that's why we have Blu-rays now, not HD DVDs. Yeah. Right? But it's a very interesting thing. I like the idea of being able to have older generations but still make it work. Yeah. What would you want, though, in terms of, like, an upgrade? Would you want to buy a whole new box? Would you want to, like, buy a thing that you can, like, unhook from a hub and then rehook and you got the new shit?
I think I think I'd like it like how we do phones. Like, just get a new box altogether. Okay. I think the more you try and separate components, just the more complicated it gets, and it becomes unnecessarily complicated. That's why the PC market's very everywhere. Exactly. Because you have so many different things. That's why that's why I do like the way Apple's model works with the App Store. Like, even though it's one generation behind, you'll always know who has what, until you have a baseline to work from. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, who knows if it'll come to pass.
It kind of makes me worried as, like, a collector, though.
Oh, yeah,
like, man, I'm just gonna have a bunch of boxes.
Yeah, for sure. The only thing I would say is I hope that it's Microsoft. Yeah, they generally do make it pretty easy to transfer to new systems and stuff. But yeah, hopefully it works out for the best. If you think about it, this one company has already done this.
Nintendo?
Yeah.
With the new 3DS?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that it's not mandatory, right? There's only one game for the new 3DS exclusively.
Yeah, but they've started to do features that make it so that you want to get the new 3DS.
Oh yeah, dual stick camera and stuff.
Yeah, or like if you want Super Nintendo Virtual Console, that's new 3DS only, right? And oh man, when that announcement came out, a lot of my friends were super pissed at that.
Okay, were they pissed at the fact that it was new 3DS only, or
Yes.
the fact that it was not cross-buy any still?
So that's what I was pissed about. The fact that we still, even though we have these Nintendo accounts, you still have to buy them again. Yeah. But no, they were pissed about the fact that it's only a new 3DS.
Oh, okay.
And to me, I'm just like, no, that's
like, yeah, welcome how consoles work.
Like that's how shit works nowadays. Like, you do it with your phone all the time. Yeah, like that like, get over it. But yeah, so
it's a cool idea. I really want to know if Sony is going to play that arrogant game again, like they did when the PS3 came out, and be like,
we don't need to do this.
Yeah, we don't need to do this because we're PlayStation 2. We're the best-selling console of all time.
We don't need to react.
We don't need to react to anything. We can just do our own thing. So I wonder if this takes off in a way I think it will. If Sony's going to have to follow suit, or if they're going to be like, PS4, maybe we got to drop this right away. Or
I don't think it'll do anything immediately. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a long-term plan.
But then Microsoft, on the other hand, will have that upper hand in the future. Since they'll have the years of experience working on this. Yeah.
That's why, like, in the short term, I don't think anything would happen. I think it would take a while. I would think it would take 2 or 3, maybe 4 years of this being in motion.
Okay.
Before Sony does, like, before it would actually affect their competitors. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I also just remembered for the Microsoft App Store.
Yeah.
So the reason Microsoft came out with the reason why those games don't work so well in that App Store is because when the App Store was created, it was never meant to run those kind of really high-powered programs as an app. It was more supposed to be like, we have a Windows phone. It works with a Windows phone. And here's all these mobile apps. Okay. So apparently they're trying to build it from the ground up. I believe I read, like, don't quote me on that. But it's because the infrastructure is set in place. Like, they could jerry-rig it together to run this thing.
For sure.
But it's more for mobile apps.
Okay. Makes sense. Cool.
But I'm pretty excited for, like, I want to see if they do anything at E3 about this. I want to see the NX.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for E3 this year.
Yeah. I think with Microsoft, if this does come to pass, if this becomes if this really is real,
because right now it seems like this is all like pie in the sky.
I am curious to see what they will try and do to make it up to the early adopters.
Oh, true.
Just for goodwill, because Microsoft got a pretty bad rap with everything surrounding the Xbox One, and if they kind of don't do anything, even if it's something small, like, I do expect them to do something small if this all comes to pass. So, but I just want to know what that would be.
So Sony did their hacking thing with giving out free games. Nintendo, was it for the DS? They did it.
The Ambassador program.
The Ambassador program. They gave you a bunch of free downloads. And stuff.
Yeah.
Did they give you a discount on a new DS? I forget.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
I know when Apple first launched the iPhone, they gave you I think it was $150 off if you bought it on day one, because I think like 3 months later they dropped the price by $150.
Okay.
So they just gave you a refund on that, basically. But yeah, as long as they show some sort of way that me, the early adopter, can upgrade or have like a simple path to get, say, Xbox 1.2 or Xbox 1.1, whatever it is, or whatever the upgrade is, Xbox One Plus. Yeah.
The other thing is, I hope this gives me a reason to use an Xbox, because like right now mine's just my TV box.
Yeah. I mean, I still maintain I prefer being on my Xbox and my PlayStation.
Even with the new menus and stuff?
Yeah, I much prefer being on my Xbox. But the thing is, I don't know anybody else is using it, and so there's no sense for me to turn it on.
Okay.
But yeah.
I think we had this discussion before with the 360 generation, where I love the cross-media bar.
Yeah.
Because I like folders.
Yeah, I know.
And then you like the more kind of like free throwaway of the Xbox.
No, I've always just liked the Xbox. Like, I've always liked Microsoft's OS, not because of the way that they arrange their games, but I've always feel like I'm connected and part of something larger.
Oh, okay.
Like, I've always liked the idea that, there's a community there. and everything has been like the store is integrated into all the other menus, and everything is easy to get to one another.
Oh, so it's like an ecosystem. Like
yeah, like I really love a well-built ecosystem and something that makes me feel like I'm part of something when I'm in it. Whereas whenever I'm in the Sony systems, I'm always just like, I feel like I've turned on a PC and I've hit the My Computer icon, and I'm just there.
So this is where me and you differ.
Yeah.
Is I love that.
Yeah.
I like that everything has its own confined like, department, and it's like I'm in the friends list. If I need to go to the store, I gotta exit this house, go next door. Here's the store, and it's specialized in the store. Yeah. But yeah, it's just personal preference.
Yeah, for sure.
But those are my picks.
Cool. My only pick this week is very small. It's a toy-related one. It's about Lego. Now, what do you think one of the more compelling collectible things about Lego is?
Blind packs?
What do you mean by
that? Like exclusive minifigs?
You're right.
Okay.
Minifigs are sort of like, even if you don't buy Lego, everybody always likes minifigures. Yeah. They're kind of like the it toy
I might broaden that out and be like, people like blind packs.
They do. Now, Lego holds a lot of licenses, and they have a lot of cool different things that you can buy. But there's one property that they have yet to nail that...
Hokuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star.
No. That would really probably just appeal to the mainstream and just...
Naruto?
No, and that would just satisfy everybody from ages 2 to 70.
I don't know.
It's Disney.
Oh, they don't have a Disney license?
They don't have a full Disney license. They've done certain sets, like they've done a Frozen Castle.
Okay.
And they've done like bits and pieces here or there. But in terms of having a full Disney license, they have never had it.
Okay.
But ever since Disney bought Marvel and Star Wars, they've been just handing out license
like,
left,
hey,
right, and center.
Make all this stuff.
Yeah. So Disney announced we are going to make our next blind bag of minifigures are Disney themed.
Oh, snap.
And they are pretty good looking.
Let's see who's in here. We got Alice from Alice in Wonderland. We got Mr. Incredible.
Yep.
Peter Pan, Genie. Oh, man. I might have to buy these. Because they got Maleficent.
They do!
Which is my favorite Disney character.
They do. I really like the Buzz Lightyear. I like Aladdin.
Cap Hook in there.
Yeah. They've got the toy from Toy Story, the alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ariel. They have a Stitch. Oh, yeah, see, like,
there you go.
I'm going to have to get one.
You got to get those Stitch. You got to get that Stitch.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that was really cool. I'm not even going to buy the blind pack. I'm just going to buy the box.
Are you going to buy a box of blind packs?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to buy the box.
So today I told you a story that back in Japan, I bought these things called they're Fuchiko.
Yes.
Like cup no Fuchiko. It's a girl named Fuchiko. She's an office lady and she hangs on your cup. So I was in my local like retro game store today and they just had bought a box of blind packs. Yeah. And I'm just like, I bought one. I was like, oh man, I love these things. Where can I just buy a box of these? Like, I just want to buy a box of blind pack.
Yeah. The only problem if you buy the box is you have to buy... Because, like, there's only, like, 8 or so different ones?
Yeah.
You have to buy, like, a box of 24.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Or a case, is that what it is?
I guess it would be a case.
A box of boxes?
A case, yeah. A case assortment, yeah.
I'm down with that.
It's pretty pricey. It's like $80.
For Cup no Fuchiko, might be worth it.
Okay there, buddy. But yeah, that was my only pick this week. Nothing else.
Sure?
Yeah.
No, nothing to do with web slinging?
Oh, shit. You're right. that happened this week. That did happen this week. So Marvel Civil War's coming out first week of May.
Yeah, man. And I feel like I've already seen the movie.
Have you?
I feel like I've already seen it.
So, yeah, their latest trailer dropped, and it revealed a lot more scenes.
Black Panther can fight! No.
No, we saw it in the previous trailer.
Yeah.
He did a kick.
But he did more kicks in this one.
Yeah, he did more kicks. But yeah, no, so the big thing is, Spidey's back. Or I guess Spidey's finally here.
It's just like, hey guys. And then also the thing was like his costume, his eyes move.
Yeah.
I don't know if that happened in the other movies.
So, yeah, his eyes can emote now, which is great. That's something that all Spider-Man should be able to do. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's kind of like how Deadpool's eyes would move.
Exactly.
The only weird thing is they made it mechanical.
Is it?
Yeah, like
It's not CG or
like no, it's CG, but like there's a mechanical sound when they open and close.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And I don't know how I feel about that.
He's a scientist, man.
I mean, I know Peter. Yeah,
Peter's pretty smart.
He's quite the smart guy. Let me tell you, he made those web slingers, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So Spider-Man's here. What's up? Let's talk about it. He's wearing the Silver Age costume.
He stole Cap's shield.
He totally did.
And he says, "Hey, what's up?"
How do you feel about his costume?
I think his costume looks pretty cool. I don't know if it's that I haven't seen the other Spider-Man movies in a long time, or that this one is what I think it is, but it looks very, I want to say, like, Spider-Man got his costume detailed at Hot Topic, and it was just, like, like, it's got, like, super skinny jeans and the tightest of tight sweaters, like, he's looking real, like kind of emo kid-ish.
Well, he is young.
Yeah, it's a younger Spider-Man, I should say that, too, but... Yeah, he's looking. It looks like he got his costume fitted at Hot Topic.
Yeah.
There's like no muscularness to him at all. Just kind of a slender dude.
I do. For the most part, I really like his costume.
Okay.
For the most part. For me, when I said his costume is based on Silver Age, you can tell because of his eyes.
Okay.
He has very small eyes,
and it's like the big black borders.
They only get bigger when he like squints. But,
okay.
But they're generally like a normal size, and I've always loved my Spider-Man with like the giant eyes, like the huge eyes. Okay. So that's the only thing that bugs me about it. But he does have a mechanical web slinger on the outside, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And he's Spidey.
He did some flips.
Mm-hmm.
He did two things at once, and then he said a quip.
Yeah, he did. It's odd. It's hard for me to judge Spider-Man just because I fucking love Spider-Man.
He's pretty cool.
He was like my hero growing up.
For me, though, like you also can't judge it based on this trailer alone because he's in there for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But I really like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Like I think he's a great Spider-Man.
Me too. But he also plays a different kind of Spider-Man. Like he's a bit older. Like he's got...
if how Spider-Man is portrayed within this movie is that he is this younger kid, and he's not just regular Spider-Man.
Yeah,
totally cool.
Yeah,
but Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, I still think is like my peak Spider-Man.
Yes, but yeah, it looks like from this trailer or everything we've heard about this new Spider-Man. I don't know. You never saw Spectacular Spider-Man?
No, I did not.
It's basically a cartoon where I think it's one of the more recent cartoons where Spider-Man's in high school and he is a kid.
Okay.
And
Flash Gordon's beating him up.
Kinda.
Okay.
You know, Mary Jane's not in the picture. It's all Gwen Stacy still, and that could be interesting. I kind of hope that in this movie Spider-Man appears and dies.
Whoa. Who? Wait, like was it Quicksilver?
Yeah.
In the last movie? Yeah. Oh man.
Like I hope he's the linchpin that stops Civil War.
So I won't spoil Civil War.
Yeah.
But some shit happens to Spider-Man in Civil War, and I would have been very surprised if they did not have him in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll play a role. Like he plays kind of like a turning point in that series, in the comic book at least.
Yeah. And
I don't know if he'll play that kind of role in the movie.
I just don't know how he could.
Yeah.
Considering he's not been part of this universe.
Yeah, and everything seems so focused on Tony and Cap.
Yeah.
But man, like thinking like the guy who read the book first.
Yeah.
In my head is just like, man, there's like a bunch of stuff they could do, and I don't want to get into that mindset because
then you'll be disappointed.
There's nothing but disappointments lying ahead because there's so much cool shit, and there's stuff that happens with Spider-Man with characters who haven't had movies in years.
Yes.
And who haven't been in popular culture in years.
Yeah. Yeah. The only reason I say I want Spider-Man to die is because I know he's on loan from Sony.
He's on loan? They leased him out?
Pretty much.
That's funny.
But then again, they did announce that Marvel and Sony would be teaming up to make a Spider-Man movie. There goes that one. Okay, never mind. It's not going to happen. He's going to live.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well.
Unless they do kill him, and the new movie's Miles Morales.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be a twist.
That'd be a twist and a half, right?
and they don't show you who it is in the trailers. It's just like, here's this kid Spider-Man. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah. But yeah, no, Civil War, it looks good. Let me just tell you, as someone who's been trying to avoid trailers, it's hard if you want to have a social media presence.
They're like, no, I was on Twitter the day it came out, and I was just like, oh, I wonder what's saying. It's like, oh my god, spoiled Spider-Man. I'm like, I might as well watch it now, because after was it the Dawn of Justice trailer?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, they took away like all the cool reveals in this, and they put it in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to like avoid the superhero movie trailers at least. But, like, it's just kind of impossible.
Yeah, it's tough. Even for people I know who are like, oh, I get it, it's super spoiler sensitive, but then they just can't help but say, Spider-Man! And I'm like, well, what the fuck? All right.
What does that mean? You just put Spider-Man in all caps with 3 exclamation points.
Yeah. And then they do a whole bunch of retweeting of other people being like, Spider-Man, Civil War! I'm like, oh, okay, well, fine. Fuck, yeah. So I've acknowledged the fact that I will still try and avoid spoilers, or not spoilers, but trailers, but I can't be mad if I'm also going to want to try and be on the internet.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're kind of at the internet's will at that point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It sucks. So, what can you do?
Unfollow everybody.
I can't do that. I even get spoiled on my YouTube comments.
True.
So, I can't do that.
Get a job as a coal miner? Get out of the internet game?
Shit.
Go live in the woods?
That's going too far. Then I won't be able to see the movie. I won't even know if the movie's out.
The ultimate spoiler-free experience.
You just don't see anything.
Don't see anything.
You're unspoiled from the world.
Exactly.
Fuck. Unsullied. That's it for our picks then, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
We did a bunch.
Yeah, we did. Let's move into our weeks.
Do it. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first.
Did you think about your week first?
There was a story I was going to bring up, but
You want me to go first?
You should probably go first.
Okay. So, I finished Yakuza 5.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I finally finished Yakuza 5.
You did finish Yakuza 5.
And that game is fantastic.
Is it, though?
So, the only complaint I have is that the story is gets very convoluted near the end. For a story that is basically about making your dreams come true. If you take away all of, like, the betrayal and Yakuza subplots and everything...
So, wait, take away everything that makes Yakuza?
If you strip this story down to its bare bones,
okay.
The story is truly about doing whatever it takes to make your dreams come true and to help the dreams happen of the people you love.
Okay.
And it gets really sappy near the end.
Sounds like it.
I just really enjoyed it. It's really good. Wow. There's an ending scene, and it's just
baby.
It's so happy.
Ugh.
Such a stuff happens.
Disgusting.
And it helps even more because I've been so invested in the series.
Ugh.
It's a great game. And so because of that, the person I was playing with it is now done. So I can do the side stories.
Oh, wow.
So I've been doing all the side stories. It's something I usually don't do in Yakuza games. Or like, when I play through it the first time, I get as many as I feel like, and then I do it. But now that I did none, on my second playthrough, that's all I'm focusing on.
Oh, so you have to restart the game?
So they have a New Game Plus feature, which is called New Game Premium. And they also have a mode called Premium Adventure, where it's no story, and you can switch between any of the characters.
So what you're doing?
I'm doing the story mode.
Oh, okay.
Because what I want to beat the story mode again with all the cool stuff unlocked, and then beat it on the EX hard mode. So I get all of the stuff that kind of breaks the game in normal, and then transfer it over to the super hard difficulty.
Okay.
And some of the sub stories are really good. Like there's one where you gotta help a wrestler in his last match, and so he can retire with dignity. There's one where you have to be an extra in a movie because the main action hero got knocked out, or like he injured himself. So you gotta like remember lines in this movie, and then in the fight scenes you have to defeat enemies with certain things, or in certain ways, or in certain orders to go with the movie story. It's pretty cool. There's just a lot of in-depth stuff. The one thing I've been doing is also the weapon trees, which I've actually never done in old Yakuza games.
The weapon trees?
So there are you can get weapons in this game, but the thing is you get this. It's kind of like a weapon store, pretty much. This guy runs a weapon store.
Okay. And
if you get certain legendary items and invest them into the store, you can make like crazy weapons. Like I just made one called the Spicy Dagger. and you need like a chili pepper and a knife.
So what does it do? Cut you and you get
It sets
burns?
you on fire.
Oh.
It sets people on fire.
Okay.
There's I made like a beam katana, like pretty much like a lightsaber.
Cool.
I made a magical girl hammer.
What does this do?
So like you win a toy hammer from the UFO machines pretty much. And then you bring it to the guy, and he modifies it with a bunch of stuff. And when you get to the final level, it's just this giant gold sparkling hammer with like angel wings, like Cardcaptor Sakura almost.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then when you hit people, it just wrecks them because it's filled with the power of your love. And
sure.
So the side story stuff gets kind of bonkers.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, Kiryu's side story really focuses around his new job as a taxi driver. But it goes straight into Initial D, like real fast.
Oh, wow.
And like, here's a bunch of street racers. You got to take down the street racing gang by being faster than them in your sick taxi. And there's like a bunch of cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love this game so much.
Clearly.
I feel everyone should play it. Everyone.
I don't know.
It's really good. It's just really good. It's quality. It helps if you're kind of into Japanese culture.
Mm-hmm.
But man, what about?
Yes.
But man, you can play Virtua Fighter 2 online inside Yakuza 5. Like, come on, how cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty awesome.
But it's not as cool as playing Galaga and on Ridge Racer.
I think you can play Galaga in Yakuza 0.
Oh, can you?
That's the one that plays in the 80s.
Oh yeah, the arcade, yeah.
But yeah, you want to play? The only way to get Taiko Drum in the U.S. is to play Yakuza 5. This is the first time Taiko Drum Master has been here since the PS2.
It's in that game?
It's in that game. Because they have a selection of 3 songs.
Can you put in your drums?
No.
Well...
You can use your controller.
No, that's not what
is there PS3 drums for Taiko? I'm not sure. I don't know. I know there's Wii U drums because that game went on to the Wii. I don't know if there's PS3 version.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I've been playing Yakuza 5, still recommend it, and I think my game clock's at like 80 hours. Like,
wow.
But if I take away that one night I left it on all night, like it's probably at like 74, like 73, 74.
Wow, you got your friend to sit there for 70 hours?
Yes, no, she really enjoyed it. Like, she loved it.
You got her to sit there for 70 hours?
The ending happened.
Yeah.
And she cried.
Oh, how long was this ending?
The ending?
Are we talking like Metal Gear style 3 hours of bullshit?
If it's 3 hours of things, but you're playing it.
Oh my god.
You're playing the ending.
Oh my god.
Because in the game there's 4 characters that you play as.
Yeah.
And they each place in different city. And then each of their stories intertwine with each other, and then you have to work together for the final bout, pretty much.
Shit.
And yeah, man, like everything comes together, everything works together. I guess technically there's 5 characters because there's 4 Yakuza characters who fight, and then you play as Haruka, who does her J-pop dance battles. But yeah, no, it's a pretty long ending, but it's like totally worth it. It ties up everything. There's a bunch of cool stuff that happens.
Okay.
There's a lot of manly fights. Just like, I want to fight you because you're tough, and like I respect you as a Yakuza, but like I'm gonna take off all my shirt to reveal my sick back tattoo, and the fight starts with us punching each other in the face at the same time, but we don't fall down because we're tough.
Okay.
They fight with honor and respect. It's such a good game. I love it. And I watched 2 movies, one good, one bad.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I went to a local theater here in Hamilton. It's called the Zoetic. I'll name drop it because it was a really fun experience.
Okay.
And they have...
Where's it at?
It's on Concession Street.
And
Upper Wentworth.
Oh, by the shoppers?
I think so. Yeah, remember, it's like, yeah, because I parked on like East 22nd or something.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm getting my streets right, that's where it is. But sometimes they have it's pretty much like a movie sing-along night where they have kind of like really cult classic, or not even cult classic, just classic musicals.
Yeah.
And they show the movie, but then during the song, like karaoke style, the lyrics appear at the bottom of the screen, and everyone in the theater sings along. It's like a family event.
Exciting.
And I went to go see Grease. Grease Lightning. And I haven't seen Grease since high school. I haven't seen Grease in years. And I didn't remember any of this.
That's okay. I've never seen Grease.
Oh, okay. So the thing, I went there and I'm like, all right, like I made you sit through Yakuza.
70 hours of Yakuza.
So I'll go with you to see this Grease thing.
Okay.
But I ended up enjoying Grease a lot.
Like more than you're willing to admit?
I think that movie is, like, I know why it's a classic now, and I totally agree.
Were you singing along?
To some of the songs.
Fuck, man.
Like, I was just like to myself, like, I was like, man, this movie's pretty...
Did you get caught in the act?
No.
Oh, okay.
This movie, it's pretty freaking good. The thing...
I hear.
Well, like, you can't really spoil it. Like,
yeah.
It's
Go ahead, I don't care.
It's like a musical. Like, John Travolta's character, like, falls in love with this girl over summer, and then they have summer lovin'. Happens so fast.
Yeah.
And it turns out, instead of her going back to Australia, she's living here instead, and she goes to school. And then it's the whole thing of, like, he's kind of like the tough, cool guy, and he doesn't want to feel like he's attached to this girl in front of his friends.
He doesn't want to be a bitch.
Yeah, so he acts like a jerk, but then it pushes the love of his life away, and then
that just sounds like high school.
Yeah, and they have to fix it.
Yeah.
But the one thing I totally forgot about this movie, probably mainly because I never paid attention to it in high school, is it's really funny. Like, there's a lot of great gags in that movie, and it's very gag focused for a lot of their comedy, which I didn't realize. So there is one song where the character Sandra Dee, she's the main love interest.
Yes.
She's talking and she's singing in the front of a house, being like, "Oh, I miss my true love, and like I'm bound to you." And it's like this really romantic song. And she looks into water and sees the reflection of his face looking back. And a piece of paper that she was holding drops into it. And so to wipe his face away from the reflection, she grabs the piece of paper and washes away. But then the camera pans out, and it's a kiddie pool in the front. It like totally takes away the seriousness from the situation. There's just other things like Danny wanted to give her a ring that he had on his finger, but it was stuck, and he just couldn't get it off. So he rubs it on his hair. Because he's a greaser, and he's got all, and he just pulls it off. And I'm like, there's so many like little things and like callbacks to previous jokes, and I didn't. Some of the comedy is actually almost like Three Stooges esque. It's a lot of physical comedy with their friends and stuff. It's really clever, and I didn't expect that from this musical. I thought it was just going to be about love and happiness and music, pretty much. But I really enjoyed it.
Are you now gonna go watch Grease live?
Probably not, like, unless there's a reason for me to go. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way. But, like, I'm totally down to watch Grease whenever now, because that movie's pretty good.
Okay.
The cool thing about this event, too, was that people dressed up.
Really?
Like, yeah, like, so I went with her, and she dressed up as one of the girls in the female gang.
What did you dress up as?
Me.
Wow.
There were people dressed up as, like, obscure side characters.
Like an extra?
Yeah, like an extra. There was a group of girls who came as the complete, like, girl gang unit.
Cool.
And people won stuff. People were, like, doing dances in the aisles to the dances in the thing. It was a whole event. The usher came around with a microphone during singing, like, certain popular songs, and gave it to the people in the audience, and they could sing, and it went over the house speakers.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. It was a really cool experience. And the other thing was that they gave you could buy, like, a gift bag with different props in it, but you use the props for different parts of the movie.
Oh, neat.
So, like, when the car race happens, like, this girl has, like, a yellow scarf.
Oh,
and so they give you, like, a yellow scarf, and you go, and you do it with everything.
Yeah.
Everybody, when all the greasers comb their hair, I'll give you a comb, and you can comb it, too.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was a really fun experience. I think before this, they did Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah, so apparently a lot of people, like, just dudes dressed up as transvestites and stuff, and, like, it sounded pretty awesome. But yeah, man, check it out. The Zoetic. It's if you live in Hamilton, I guess. Like,
check it out for that one person who lives in Hamilton.
It's pretty cool.
Alongside with us.
It's all ages event. And then I watched The Bad Movie.
Uh-oh.
The Bad Movie is, so I got a group of friends who like to watch the bad movies. We watched 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh yeah, that's not a good movie.
It's not a good movie. I don't even know. Okay, the first thing we did is that we started watching it, and we're like, this movie is so slow, and it's 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So we watched it on 1.5 times speed.
Oh no!
And it made the acting better.
Oh man!
Because people weren't just hanging on lines all the time and like slowly trying to do suggestive things like bite their lips and stuff.
But you take away all the build up and the tension.
Again, the actors did not really portray said
But you
tension.
take away the build up. You could have been edging on your seat.
I'm sure everybody knows about... That means... That's a different meaning.
I know. I know.
Gross. People, people, I'm sure you've heard of this, like, this girl, she has to cover for her friend to go interview Christian Grey, who's this billionaire bachelor, and no one knows why he's single, and it turns out because he's way into bondage.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of kinky stuff. And the movie, it plays it off really, like, oh my gosh, this is, like, such a taboo subject, all this, like, sub-dom stuff, right? But they're very tame, actually, like... There's nothing in the movie.
So yeah, that was the one thing, like, because the book goes far deeper.
So what I've heard is that the book just goes buck wild.
That's why when they announced the movie, I thought, well, how are you gonna do this without getting like the
AO rating? Like,
yeah, like how are you gonna do it without just not making this porn?
And what they do is that they soften it up.
Yeah, and it totally kills it.
And so, like, yeah, just like, here's my room with all these whips, of which I will never use in the movie because it won't be rated. Like, there's certain things, like, apparently in the books, there's a scene in the movie where she gets spanked, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like, fine, I'll do this thing you want because, like, you want to do it, but I want you to see how I'm not enjoying it. And it's supposed to, like, crush his feelings and be like, why am I doing this?
And he just likes him more.
No, he the thing is, he guess gets off on it, I guess.
Yeah.
But they don't really show that. But in the movie, they have, like, it's like a whip, but it's not, it's like a stick with, like, a leather fold on it.
Yeah.
And he hit him with that, but they hit really hard, pretty much. And she's like, oh, it hurts, I'm crying. But apparently in the movie, he just gets, like, a wooden flog. Like, almost like a canoe paddle, like a mini canoe paddle.
Like a paddle?
And just goes to town.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, that sounds way more vicious. Or there's certain things in the movie where he seems a lot more like a psychopath.
Yeah.
Rather than this guy who's just kind of into weird kinky shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, seeing the movie, I'm like, none of this seems, like, taboo or risque. It's just, like, a tiny bit above normal. Mm-hmm. Like, it's almost in the same vein as the Gimp scene from Pulp Fiction. Yeah. Like, it's not bad. Mm-hmm. Right? They're like, this is not, I'm not saying, hey, teenagers, go watch this movie. Like, parents, let your 13-year-old watch this. Like, there's still nudity and it still deals with a lot of kind of dark content. Yeah. But, like, it's not, it's not good, and it doesn't push anything. It doesn't push any boundaries in terms of sexuality portrayed in movies. Yeah.
It's kind of weird, this conversation, just because it's weird that books don't have a rating system like that.
Yeah, right. You can kind of just put out whatever.
Yeah. And you can walk into, like, a bookstore and just be like, hey,
what was the book she told me about? Identical. I think that's what it's called. I think it's called Identical.
Okay.
I'm just going to straight spoil this book.
Okay, go ahead.
Because it kind of shows how much books can get away with. Mm-hmm. So this book is about a girl who has an identical twin. Yep. And her identical twin gets abused by her father every night. But she's always like the bad girl, like the rebel. Mm-hmm. And then she's like the good, innocent girl who never gets in trouble. Yeah. But she's jealous of the sister who gets abused sexually by
that's
abused sexually by the dad. Yeah. And it's kind of graphic, right? Yeah. But the twist in the whole book, like the M. Night Shyamalan twist, is that she is imagining the identical thing because she was supposed to have an identical twin, but the identical twin died in birth. Yeah. And then she took on the persona to block out the fact that her dad is sexually abusing her. Yeah. And, like, if that was in a movie, that shit wouldn't get played anywhere. Yeah. It's kind of nuts. Mm. That books kind of just have this free reign, right?
It's nice.
And also, like, it kind of shows the fact that people only get freaked out about things that they can easily consume.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Like, there are so many things in books where I'm like, how are parents just not up in arms about this stuff? Because it's like, here's this young teen book that deals with all these crazy situations. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that they would have to read that book. Mm-hmm. And that takes up time. Yep. And when they got to invest that time, they don't care. Right? And then they see this hour-and-a-half movie, which is very easily digestible. Yeah. And the fact that it's a visual medium, you can portray a lot more, a lot faster. Then they're just like, oh, this is outrageous and stuff. And I'm just like, well, what did you expect? Like, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. It's kind of weird, like, the this, not stigmas, but like what people choose to get freaked out about or to flip out about or be offended about.
And I think that's more just it's definitely a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Like where we live in the world. Because here violence, like no one cares.
Yeah, but sexuality is like, whoa.
Yeah.
But then in Europe, sexuality is like, whatever.
But guns are like, yo,
guns!
whoa.
Chill out!
Which I agree with a bit more.
Yeah, there's something about, like...
Yeah, there's something about, like, oh, that's a gun. Yeah. Bang, bang.
Bang. Oh, it's so easy.
You know?
Right? You kind of just... You make it into this thing that doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
And people blame that for, like, mass shootings and stuff. And obviously that comes up to the individual. But I'm sure it's not helping.
Yeah. Because then, when you see, like, parents with, like, their 12-year-old kids and they're, like, they cover their eyes during kissing scenes in movies, I'm like, nah. Like... What the fuck?
Yeah, like but you let them see like that dude get shot in the face. Like,
yeah, I'm like, do you also not kiss in front of your kids? And it's like, well, why not? Like, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. You watched a bad movie.
I watched a bad movie and it was terrible. The interesting story I had today was when I was in my local game store buying that Fuchigo thing. Some lady came in, tried to return a game, and she was just like, my son was... It was Grand Theft Auto, like Vice City. Like, it was a PS2 game, it was old. And they're just like, I saw my son playing this game and he was beating up a hooker and he was shooting people, blah, 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 blah. It's like, lady, like, we told you when we bought it that there is sexual activity and there is violence.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. Like, it says it on the box. Yeah. Why didn't you say no beforehand?
Yeah.
And then people, like, come back and they're like, you never, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I didn't think it'd be this bad.
It is that bad.
The ratings are there for a reason.
Yeah. Well, you know how some people are. A video game's a video game. It's just a game.
It's just a game.
It's just a game. It's for kids, not adults.
It's solitaire.
Yeah, man. It's like Sesame Street.
Oh, I have to have that that conversation with like one of my family members like
all the time.
Once every 3 family get-togethers. Ooh. Because it's like, Anthony, you still play video games? I'm like, yeah. It's like, when are you going to give that up? It's such like a childish thing. I'm like, it's not the same as when you were a kid because you're ignorant to the fact that games have evolved and all this stuff. And like, it's a medium now. Like, it tells stories on par with movies. I'm like, fuck.
That's okay. My dad does that to me all the time.
Does he actually? Okay.
Yeah, my dad does that to me. He's like, you still playing games? I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, it's just...
He totally thinks that video games, that you do not need an HDTV for a video game, and that I'm wasting my money.
What?
Yeah.
Does he also think you don't need an HDTV for Blu-ray movies?
No, he totally believes in that. No, he believes in that.
Like, that's an easier, like, thing to put together, because it's like, my games are on Blu-rays, Dad. Like, it's the same thing.
No, but that Mario, he doesn't need the big TV.
Yeah, you just jump on the mushroom. Whatever, we're gonna be those old people soon enough.
Nah, I'll always be accepting. I'm gonna roll with the times.
Well, you kids walking around with your HoloLenses, ugh. Augmented reality.
I mean, like, yeah, I get pretty irritated when I'm cycling out there and I see kids walking around their hoverboards. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, like the schoolyard bully in me comes out and I just want to push him.
But then I'm like, I was there at that age and I had the equivalent. I don't know what it was, but I bet I looked. Sure, yeah.
It was a Razor scooter.
I bet I looked equally as dumb, so I won't judge you.
It was rollerblades.
Oh, rollerblades are still cool.
Yeah, but the thing was, I was listening to comedian Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And he had a thing of like, look how like sensitive people are. Like one little homosexual comment killed all of rollerblading. Like, oh, you rollerblades must be gay. And it's just like everyone's like, oh, I can't rollerblade anymore because someone said that.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which,
speaking of rollerblades,
no, like, I guess I was just ignorant to the fact, but as I've gone deeper into cycling, I've found out more communities about them, and I did not realize that there is like a big portion of cyclists are straight up vegan, like vegan snobs.
Oh.
Yeah, and
it doesn't make me want to get into cycling at all.
No, not at all. I almost want to be like, I'm going to hang up my frame and say goodbye.
I'm going to get a motorcycle.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, I don't know. I was in a store and I just kept people talking about all their bananas they're eating and shit, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't need this.
That's okay. Like let's get into some topics right now.
Yeah.
I think that's the current thing that bugs me the most about certain, like, today's culture, maybe.
Yeah.
Of people, like, groups of people who claim to be super tolerant of everyone and what they do.
Yeah.
But, like, the moment you do the one thing they don't agree with, like, oh, I eat. And it's like, oh, you're a monster. Like, oh, I'm so intolerant of you. Like, how dare you choose to live this way?
Yeah.
You should only eat soy. Like, F off. Like,
yeah. The kind of people like, you're not a real cyclist unless you're vegan. It's like, what the fuck?
Did you know that Brussels sprouts give you more cycling power, bro? Only if they're organically GMO free.
Yeah. They're like, you want to live a true cyclist lifestyle?
I only poop in the woods.
Go vegan. Carve the fuck up.
I made a treehouse in Dundas Forest.
Oh, yeah. Whatever.
My bike's made out of 100% recycled beaver dam.
It makes me want to go, like, bike to a McDonald's drive-thru and just like, go have a Big Mac while I'm at, like, the next...
I saw that recently. Apparently bikes count as vehicles.
Yes,
like,
they do?
You can drive through on a bike.
You can. You totally can.
Like, I looked at the guy in front of me, and I was out my way. I'm like, hey, does this count? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, cool. I'm gonna go on a bike through a drive-thru.
Yeah, it's neat. Anyways, on to my week. I had a similar...
You watched a bad SF
I watched 2 movies and I played a game.
Okay.
One was good, one was bad, and then there's the game. Okay. I'll start with... so the good movie I watched first is, after you and Blaven talked about it last year, I watched Creed.
Oh, nice. Finally.
I really liked it.
It's really good.
It's a good movie.
I felt that he could have at least been nominated for an Academy Award for that movie.
Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah. Like, I really enjoyed his portrayal of Apollo Creed's son.
Yeah. I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. What did you think? I want to... are we spoiling this movie?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Spoilers for Creed. Now. What did you think of the whole Rocky old man, I get cancer thing?
I thought that was fine.
Like, did you find it sad? Did you find it moving at all?
I didn't find it moving at all. I almost expected it.
Okay.
And I thought the movie would have gone to this whole, this is my last fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then after the fight, he would die. That's how I thought the movie was going to
go.
But
he didn't die.
No.
But I thought that, to me, it felt more like the writers were like, what's devastating? Cancer! And they just kind of went to, like, the immediately worst case scenario.
Yeah. And
it almost, like, it felt like it was written, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure in a real life situation, like, someone can just be like, oh no, I got cancer, like, this sucks, like, it's just totally random.
Yeah, I could see that.
But in the context of a movie, it's like, I know someone wrote this.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm just like, oh, these writers just were like, probably cancer, like, that's the worst, like, here you go.
I'll admit, like, when it happened, I felt like, okay, this was put in so that it can ignite something between the two characters.
Yeah.
Like, to drive the story. So in that sense, I don't mind it, but okay. I get that it's sort of a plot device.
It's a little rote.
Yeah. I like the idea of Michael B. Jordan young Creed Johnson.
Yeah.
Is like this young upstart,
and he's like successful. Like he's no joke. He's a rich dude.
Like I mean, like he's like this, like he's this brat that, like, when he's a kid.
Yeah. And
then he goes full white collar. Mm-hmm. But then he wants to revert, and he wants to go, like, straight up blue collar.
Like, there's something missing from his life.
Yeah, like, most people want to go blue to white.
Yeah.
But he wants to go white to blue.
It's an interesting character dynamic.
Yeah, and you can see, like, throughout the movie, he has, like, these anger problems, and I do like how it's mostly just the fight between him and his own anger with not ever meeting his dad.
Exactly.
I like that angle. And that's why when dude got cancer and he got angry, like, to me it all just made sense. Like, even though, yeah, the cancer thing did feel rote, it did feel like the perfect reason for why he would get angry.
Yeah.
Or, like, why things would transpire the way they did. I don't know if the chick that he's with needs the hearing aids. I don't know if she needed that.
Yeah.
I don't know if his life needed that much drama.
That also could have done it. Like, they kind of piled on the tragedy.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know if she needed that.
Like, oh, I'm going deaf, but I'm in love with music, and I'll never be able to listen to the thing I love.
Yeah, because the story is not really about her, but, I mean... But then there's one scene in the movie where I'm like, oh, that's why you put it in. And it's when they're in a fight, and she's on the other side of the door, and he's, like, banging.
Oh, that was a good scene.
And she takes
the hearing... Oh,
I'm like,
yeah, that was a good
when
scene.
that happened, I'm like, that's why she has hearing problems. Okay.
They came up with that scene, and they're like, let's write around this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It's like, Okay, you won me over. She needs the hearing aid.
That was a good scene.
Yeah. The fight was good. It ended the way I thought it would end.
With him losing?
Yeah. I mean, part of me kind of hoped that he would have won, but I'm like, this is a Rocky movie.
I like
he's gonna lose.
It's the thing they do in, I think it was the first Rocky movie.
Yeah, he loses.
Where Rocky comes back in such a miraculous way.
Yeah.
Where you're in your head, you're like, oh, he could totally do it, but he just did it a little too late.
Yeah.
Right? And like if there's ever like a Creed 2, like that's the movie where he just dominates.
Yeah. So yeah. No, it was good. I enjoyed it. I definitely recommend it.
It made me want to skip that movie. Like when he was learning all of the skipping stuff, like 1 foot kicking out and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
It made me want to skip.
Yeah. It was cool. It was a very, very cool movie. Can't believe Sylvester got nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah.
He does look like this.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what's the difference between his performance here and his like most recent movies?
He had cancer. There was a couple scenes in that movie where I literally could not understand what he was saying.
Yeah. And
so I would have to like turn to Blaven. I'm like, Blaven, you know what he said? And he's like, nope. Like, no clue. He just mumbled a bunch of words and something happened.
And he has his own he has his own running scenes and his own. I thought it was cute at the end when they were going up the stairs.
They're going up the stairs. Hey, old man.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, young man. One step at a time. Yeah. So that was cool. The next movie I watched, before I say what it is, and you already know it's a bad one, there is a movie I watched last year that I really enjoyed.
The Maze Runner.
Yes.
Okay.
I really liked that movie.
Really?
I did.
Okay.
And at first I thought, hey, do I actually like this movie because there's something about me that just likes teen...
like, you love the CW.
Yeah, like, I like this type of genre, or is it actually a good movie? After seeing The Maze Runner 2, that first one was a legit good movie.
Okay.
I found out. Yeah, the first one was a good movie.
Did you have the thing of like, I found my baseline?
Yeah.
And now I know because this thing does so many things wrong, this movie is good? Okay. Yes. Awesome.
Yes. So, I like the first Maze Runner because it was like this perfect blend of mystery of the maze, a good amount of action sequences. It had the whole boys character bonding sequences of Lord of the Flies, good development, and they introduced a female to like a group of boys, and like it just made things interesting. The second movie takes all that away.
Okay.
It just says, you liked mazes? Too fucking bad. We're gonna be running all the time.
In a straight line.
Yeah, across the desert, through a city, running.
Okay.
You don't like running? Too bad.
So
and
Lord of the Rings sped up? Like,
kinda. I will say, like, the action sequences are super imaginative and they're way better than the first movie, but it comes at the cost of a story and any character development.
Those are pretty important.
A lot of things just happen because you feel like, sure, yeah,
why not?
Yeah, things are telegraphed, foreshadowed, like way early and too obvious, but for no reason. Like, you know this character is gonna turn on you, but you don't know their motive.
Oh my god!
So it's like at the beginning, like someone picks up a radio and you're like, you're gonna use that and you're gonna call the cops, like. But wait, why are you gonna call the cops? Like, what did they? What's the issue here? I don't know, but I called the cops.
Okay.
So that's what it is. But my biggest problem is it turns the Maze Runner into a movie genre that we already have way too much of, and we didn't need this.
Of Hunger Games?
No. It turned the Maze Runner into a zombie apocalypse.
Aw, boo.
Yeah. Like, it just straight up becomes a zombie flick, and I was like, what the fuck happened?
Weird.
Like, and part of it is sort of...
I thought it was about giant spiders.
Like, part of it is sort of hinted at in the first movie that, like, something's happened to the world.
Mm-hmm.
But to it just to be, like, running zombies and everybody's infected and shit.
You're like, eh.
And you're like, huh. It kind of falls flat.
Zombie series can be good.
They can!
I just think we as a people have run it into the ground.
Yeah.
And there needs to be, like, Hollywood needs to ban the making
of
zombie movies for, like, the next 10 years.
There's a silver lining to this. I heard that the reason the second movie was actually viewed as bad is a lot of the fans said it actually deviates from the book a lot.
Okay.
And that the book is different.
Oh, okay. Like 50 Shades of Grey?
Yes. So I have the audiobooks to the Maze Runner trilogy.
Awesome.
I will report back eventually.
In the near future.
Yeah, I will report back. But yeah, that was that. And then the game I played this week was The Division.
Yep. You guys have been playing The Division a lot.
Uh-huh.
We have a nice little Facebook group where we play multiplayer games. And everyone's like, hey guys, let's all go play The Division. I'm like, I don't got it. No.
So first of all, I didn't pay full price for this game.
What?
You know how much Metal Gear Solid 5 trades in for? What? $50.
Still?
50 bones! Dang. That's just Metal Gear.
Maybe I should trade in my Xbox One copy.
So, I got that. I traded in a Formula 1 game. Ended up paying like $20 for Division. I figured, even though this game was bad, it was $20, and I like shooting in this game enough.
You like shooting things?
Yeah. I've been having a lot of fun.
Is it the same type of fun? Like, I need the Destiny comparison. Because I had a lot of fun with Destiny in the beginning. And then that tapered off real fast. So
it is sort of the same type of fun as Destiny. The only difference is the mission structure is a bit more varied.
Okay.
There actually is a story you can follow.
Okay. That's probably important too.
You know? There's things to do. I feel like the world is littered with... You know how Ubisoft games always have like... They litter their world with like collectibles and things to look at?
Yeah. Collectible feathers.
This game has that, but they're not collectibles. They're more like a billion different side missions.
Okay.
So there's
content.
Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff to seemingly do in the world, but I will say if you play the beta and you feel like if you wanted to expand out more than what the beta did, I don't know if the game will do that.
Oh, it's the Destiny beta.
Did you play the Division beta?
I did. I played. To be fair, I only played it once. I played it for like 3 hours.
Okay.
I did the initial stuff, and I did the mission in the stadium.
Yeah.
And then I roamed around a whole bunch.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what you do.
Okay.
But the missions get really cool, especially if you have a party of like 3 or 4, because when you walk into... So the way I look at this game is that it is basically Rainbow Six Vegas terrorist hunt mode, the game, with the loot grind.
That sounds so great.
Doesn't it?
It does, because terrorist hunt is
Doesn't
amazing.
it? But like when you think about terrorist hunt, what are you doing? You're doing the same maps over and over again, doing the same shit, waiting for people to come in, right? Yeah. That's basically what the Division is, except instead of moving from map to map, you're running around the city, going into different buildings, doing that kind of stuff. The thing that I think for me sets this game... Well, first of all, if you have a group to play with, buy the game. Like it is one of those games that is infinitely more enjoyable when you have a group to play with. And the reason it is more enjoyable is because all like your perk system, they're very group focused.
Oh, okay.
So, for example, did you have the heal gun when you played? Yes. And you could shoot your friends to heal. Yeah, you could shoot. Okay. Yeah. So, I don't have a heal gun. I basically have like a giant... It looks like a toolbox, but it's basically a 10-meter radius, and if you're in it, you're constantly being healed. Okay. But it also has it so that if you go down, not die, but go down, you could heal yourself in that circle.
Oh, okay.
It'll also refill your ammo.
Oh, wow.
Right? TJ was using one where he was on cover, and he could bolster the cover. And
That's
if you
cool.
And it's not like one piece of cover, it's like a cover within a certain area. Okay. If you're in that cover, you get reduced damage, you put out more damage, and he also has a perk on where you heal on that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so like a lot of the perks are very group oriented, and it makes it so that if you have a full party, you become unstoppable.
How much of these... So the things you've explained to me, like as examples, they're very group focused in the literal sense of like you stay as a group. Yeah. Like it's like, hey, everyone behind this one piece of cover.
It is pretty much like that.
Does it not really have a reward you for like, hey, I want you to go this way and flank someone, and then while we're here cover firing, like does it kind of do any skills promote like more spread out strategies?
So I don't know if the skills themselves promote that, but no, the skills themselves don't, but the level layout does promote doing that, so that you would pair off.
Oh, okay.
So that like if you have 2 healers in your group, you would split them.
Okay.
And then one would go one way. Like a lot of the times, I would usually take the top route, because I have a sniper, and then who would come with me? Someone would come with me, and then the other two would be on the bottom because they have light machine guns. Yeah. It'd be a lot of fun. The other thing we have are turrets.
Yeah.
Like we have 4 turrets. Okay. And so we would throw them out there.
Turret squad.
And the turrets would act as their own singular group, and we would flank them.
That's funny.
So it would be fun. Dark Zone's rough.
I've heard the Dark Zone is very rough.
Oh, there's one way into the Dark Zone where Mikey was with us, and it was a fence, and we just thought, oh, you hop the fence and you go to the next level. Turns out when he went first, you hop the fence, you hop into the Dark Zone.
Okay.
And you can't get back out.
Oh.
Because you hop the fence to get in.
That's cool.
But because he's in the Dark Zone, his mic cuts from us. So we don't know where the fuck he is.
Are you using in-game chat now?
Okay. Yeah. So it just cuts, and he's gone, basically.
In the Dark Zone.
And we're like, you're good. You're done. We're gonna go do some missions. Call us when you're dead.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's fun. I enlisted a friend of mine to come into our group to help out us, and yeah, so we had a party of 4. It's
cool.
fun. It's a good fun party time.
How's the loot reward? Because like in Destiny, I didn't really find it that rewarding until later on. Like pre-loot cave, like I was just like, what's happening here? Like I'm not getting anything.
It's a pretty good rollout, but the crafting's where it's at.
Okay.
So generally, anything good I get, I tend to dismantle, and I do a lot of side missions because side missions give you blueprints, and then I can make the better weapons. Okay. Or we just hop into the Dark Zone, see what happens.
All right.
But people in the Dark Zone right now are pretty high level.
All right.
And they're kind of just running over people. Like, just mowing you down.
Like the dudes who played for like 48 hours.
Yeah, and you're just like, shit, man. We did have this one good experience where it was me, Mikey, and my friend Rex, and we were in the Dark Zone.
Okay.
Now my friend Rex, at the time, was level 5.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Mikey were 15. Okay? Right. But you can't see who's in a party, right? Mm-hmm. Some other dude who was like level 10, he saw Rex by himself. Yeah, because I was like, I'm gonna wait back here, just do some stuff. And he he shot my friend Rex. So I'm like, it's on. So me and Mikey came out and just annihilated this dude.
That's hilarious.
And he had some sick gear.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
No, that's it.
Oh, I've been waiting. I've decided to wait on like reviews for this game.
Yeah. What do the reviews say?
Everything I'm hearing so far is that people really enjoy playing this game, but they can't tell you exactly why.
It's the same reason why I enjoy Destiny.
Okay, like they're like, oh, like yeah, no, like I'm shooting these people. The shooting feels good, and like there's a loot grind, which is okay, and they're having a lot of fun with it, and they find themselves playing it a lot.
Yeah,
but they're not necessarily. They don't have a reason why. It's just they're like, it's just good. Like it's just fun. Mm-hmm. Like there's nothing specific about it.
Yeah,
and that kind of makes me think of Destiny.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh, when does this content run out? Am I paying $60 for another game that's like 3 hours of content?
Yeah. I mean, so far I've probably put, like, I would say from what I've played, I think it's definitely longer than vanilla Destiny.
Okay.
I am curious to see what this game's gonna look like a month from now.
Didn't they already have like DLC plans?
They have DLC plans, but they also have just like regular update plans and how they're gonna like change the Dark Zone and add stuff to the Dark Zone.
Okay.
Because as far as I can see, there's nothing in the Dark Zone to do other than just kill people.
Mm-hmm. Or find Dark Zone loot.
Yeah. Which involves killing people.
Does it though?
No.
Play the pacifist run, homie.
But yeah, because apparently, like, I want to know what happens when I hit the level cap. Because apparently, I haven't really read into it, but things do change.
Okay. And
maybe the Dark Zone, you will get other things to do in there.
What is the level cap?
30.
30? Okay. Like, so you're like halfway there.
Yeah. It takes a while to level up.
Okay.
It does take a while, I will say that. But yeah, no, I'm having a good time. I'm really, for $20, I'm having a great time. I'll say that. Maybe my opinion would be different if I did pay 80. Mm-hmm. Or what is it, 60 in America? Maybe it would be different, but for the moment, I'm having a good time.
Yeah. I always try not to do like what I paid for the game as like a factor in whether I enjoy this game or not. But like in our dollar situation right now, it's really hard not to.
I think you should always put it into a account. Yeah. Although like that argument doesn't work with movies.
Exactly.
Right? Or television shows. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like with games, because it's some sort of interactive media, you can have a basis on value.
Okay. Like due to price, like compare value to price.
Yeah, like I think because you are physically, or maybe not physically per se, but you are interacting with it on some level,
on a more intimate level than movies.
Yeah, like instead you're not just sitting there consuming. You are like doing stuff with it, like in the same way you would buy a car and you would associate that car's price with.
What's what you get? You would. Yeah. Okay, that's right? Fair.
Like if you are interacting with it and if you are finding value out of its purpose,
like a car is a more extreme example of that.
Of course. Okay, fine. But if I bought, I was gonna say running shoes, but that's more fashion. Okay, I buy a bike, right?
Okay,
like $1,000. Like, am I getting that value there? Like, did I get my money's worth?
Did my bike break? Like, in terms of like comparing running out of content, like, did my bike break after like 100K?
Yeah, like how long did it last me before I needed my first tune-up? Or like how was it?
Is it good in the road? Mm-hmm. Is it like how is it on corners?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So, or even like an arcade stick if you want to be more relatable to video games, right?
Oh yeah. No, I've gotten free arcade sticks where I'm like, I was angry for the person who bought it for me. I'm like that sucks. That like it's a great gesture to me, but if you were to buy this for yourself, like this is not worth the money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's totally cool if you associate video games with price.
Okay.
Especially with like the fact that we have these big budget games and these indie games that are like $20, and you're like.
Then we got stuff like Super Hot and The Witness coming out at higher prices than people think it should be.
Yeah. Speaking of indie games, did you know Galaxy got an arcade mode?
What?
You get checkpoints after every mission.
Oh, I want that.
It's just a free update.
Yeah, I want to. Maybe I'll.
You
Galaxy
might actually finish it.
Maybe I'll finish Galaxy now.
Yeah.
That game's hard.
Yeah, man, it's not easy. It's tough. But yeah. So yeah. That's my week. The Division. It was fun stuff, I think.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm a girl.
Of course, as was I in the beta.
I wear skinny jeans.
Oh no, I was a guy in the beta. I was the old guy with like slick back hair.
Yeah.
Do you get more character customization options?
You do, but okay, that's probably the weakest part of the Division.
Okay.
Like character customization sucks.
But yo, I got my legendary puffy jacket.
Yeah. Like all the. So when you upgrade your base.
Yeah.
The first thing I went for was like because you could buy different sections to your base to get new vendors. Mm-hmm. The first thing I bought was the appearance vendor. So all he does is he sells you clothes for ridiculous amounts of money.
Okay,
that's all I've been doing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but I enjoy.
Gotta get your hats, man. Gotta get your hats.
Yeah, man. I look pretty classy.
Okay, all right.
Got those skinny jeans.
I'm waiting for when this game is like a couple years out, and they're just like, Division 2 is coming out. Here's a bunch of joke items, like Snake in his tuxedo in 3 or something. Like,
yeah. Oh, actually, speaking of which, it's Ubisoft, so they have Uplay.
Oh, of course they do. Get those Uplay points, fun.
You can buy Uplay exclusive appearance items. I bought them all.
What's one of them? Give me what's your favorite one?
My favorite is the investment broker.
What, you get a suit?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So when I first met TJ and Mikey in the game, I played a bit ahead of them. They came in, they saw me. I have dress pants, shirt, tie, and I decided to just not wear the jacket.
A little casual, a little hot out today. Yeah, but don't need the jacket.
But I put the vest on, so I'm like, now I look good.
Look like a butler.
No, it's the bulletproof vest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I kind of look like a detective,
or like the dudes from what's that bank robbing movie?
Oh,
with Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Dudes from that.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
That's cool.
Yeah, I will say. I found when I was doing that, I realized I have a lot of Uplay points, just because all its Assassin's Creed games over the years.
Yeah, and then you don't spend them because nothing's ever really worth it.
Yeah. So when I was like 500 Uplay points, and each of these costs like 20, Okay.
I think the only thing I've ever bought off of Uplay is for like one of the Splinter Cell games.
Yeah.
Because there was, or no, it was Deus Ex. Because you get like RoboCop's gun. The big pistol that's the burst fire.
Yeah.
But you can just make it silenced immediately. And I'm like, this just breaks the early game. Like, okay, I guess I'm going stealth route. Let's do it.
Cool. Yeah, that's it though.
All right.
Cool. That's it. Next week is I don't know if we have anything planned next week.
I don't know.
Actually, you know what? I don't know. I don't even know if next week we'll even have a show.
Why, are you busy?
No, I just don't know
when we're gonna do it.
Yeah, and scheduling and stuff.
You can do late. We can do a late show.
We can, or maybe it might come out later than usual, maybe. But yeah. Tentative, we'll say.
At worst, like, do it on Monday.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is still Monday. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Okay. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.